Hi guys, now we're going to do a quick masterclass on song interpretation, little bits of advice that will help you to feel more confident that you can deliver your own unique version of a song. All of the advice that I'm going to be giving you today, it's all kind of boils down to considering shape. What shape do you want to create with the songs that you're singing? So the first bit of advice I would say is looking at things that rhyme. Usually in songs, like a second line in a song, the words will rhyme. So you have to kind of give a little tiny bit of an emphasis to the first word, the second word, and almost kind of bring them out in such a way that people realize that they match, you know? And you have to be very, very careful with these things because if you do it too much or if the emphasis is too strong, it comes out like really kind of awkward and odd sounding. So just a little tiny subtle shape to them. And it's just so people can go, oh yeah, look, that rhymes. Yeah. And the second one I was to say as well is on the same lines, looking at the emphasis of different words. And it's really handy sometimes to just print out the lyrics of a song and just say them deadpan, so you are noticing your natural pattern of speech. And the way that you would say a certain phrase might be quite different from the way that I would say it, but that's a good thing. That's you bringing out your own unique interpretation of the song. Going back to that Bob Dylan thing again. When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I could offer you a warm embrace to help you feel my love. I don't know if that was exactly right, but you get the idea. The words that I would emphasize might be different to you, and that's good. It means go with your natural pattern of speech, make the interpretation feel a lot more natural and sincere. And this is the thing that we're going for is an honest and sincere interpretation. So you have a good depth of understanding and knowledge about what the song is about. And there's the next bit is to think about things like that might be quite unique to maybe your area, your country, your part of Scotland, like colloquialisms. There's a good example in those couple of lines there when it's talking about the whole world is on your case. But we're not talking literally there, are we? It's all about like there's something, a colloquialism, a phrase that people say to express having frustration. So you have to make that clear that like sometimes when you're singing things that you want to make sure that people understand it's a colloquialism or a phrase or a method of expression. It could be that maybe people haven't heard that certain phrase or colloquialism before. So making sure that it's clear it's not to be taken literally can really help. And next thing is that on similar lines, I was thinking about something called word painting or madrigalisms. To give you a kind of crude example and stuff, sometimes in music, music might have a word in it, like say falling, and the word might try to, the music might try and describe what the word means, falling, something like that. You know, that's a bit of a crude example, but you get the idea. It's this thing with also this Bob Dylan song as well. There's a part that says, I could offer you a warm embrace. Well, it's thinking about the word warm, that you don't want to make it sound like you just said, I don't know, pen or something really boring like that, you know. It's also thinking about the intention of the word when you're saying about offering a warm embrace. You want it to sound kind of warm and cozy and inviting, like relaxing almost as well. So you could be like, I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. So there's the warm. See what I mean? I'll keep on doing that, but it's that sense of a shape to it, you see? So that's the thing about word painting is that you have to be careful that you don't do it too much. It's a bit like having salt and pepper with your dinner or something like that. Really nice to have it as a kind of thing to bring out the flavours of your food. But you wouldn't want to sit down to a meal with a bowl of just salt, would you? It's a bit like that with word painting, that you only do it like, I know, you're not even, like, I know, 2 or 3 times, I would guess, in a song. And only use it for words that you feel inspired by. Do you think, oh, that's a really brilliant descriptive word, I want to kind of play around with that and make something of it? That's exactly how I felt when I heard this bit. I could offer you a warm embrace. It's like, oh yeah, you could do something with that warm embrace, and the thought of a warm embrace being it like making it sound cozy and like nice, you know. So use it sparingly, because sometimes if you are using it for a song, and sometimes you get people that do like they do it a bit too much. It can detract from the meaning of the song, and it can sound a bit odd. Yeah. So the next thing I would say as well is something that's difficult, I think, to increase. Empathy. You really need empathy for singing. To put yourself in somebody else's shoes, if you just help you to understand what they're going through. So you might have a song that you're trying to kind of sing, and the character that's in the song might be doing something that you haven't experienced, whether that's good or bad. But you need to try and imagine how they would feel if you were in that situation. Sometimes it's helpful if you can imagine if, like, maybe you've had friends or families been in this situation. If there's anyone that you can ask questions about, then that's really helpful. And what was it like when you went through this? People are always very kind and willing to support people when they're trying to understand things like this. And this is another thing that kind of final little kind of comment and stuff that you have to do. We call desk work. When you're doing your singing, when you're practicing singing. Well, that's good, because sometimes like, I'm a singing teacher, but I don't feel like singing every day sometimes. Sometimes it's good to have a little time off from it. But you can still work on your songs without singing by looking at the what, the who, and why. So sometimes you need to think about what you're singing. Now, I'll give you an example of somebody that didn't quite think about this. They had a song like a couple of years ago, and it was talking about kryptonite. And the person was singing it in a kind of unusual way. I thought that they were trying to sing it, to say the word is like two separate words, like kryptonite. So I asked them, I was like, oh, do you understand what kryptonite means? And they said, no. And I was like, oh, right, well, Superman? And they were like, no, they didn't know what I was talking about. So it's vital that you do your homework. If you have any unusual words, things you don't quite understand, could be colloquialisms you don't really understand, please try and find out as much as you can about them. So I had to go into an explanation of what kryptonite is and things like that. You can imagine if you went to an audition and then somebody asked you about a word, and if you didn't know the meaning of it, it could be a bit of a black mark against you at your audition. And the next thing is to think about the who. Who is it you're singing to? Is it just to yourself? Is it to one person, a small group, a large group, a huge crowd of thousands of people? That will influence the way that you sing it. But also thinking about the who, as in who is your character in the song? How are they feeling right now? What kind of things do you think that they would want to change, if anything? And that's the other thing about kind of leading on to the last point, is thinking about why. Why is the character singing the song? Is it to kind of vent frustration, like, oh, I've had a terrible day and I just need to tell somebody about it? Is it trying to say to somebody that they love them? It could be that they're very happy in a relationship already. Could be they're trying to entice somebody back to them. Think about the reasons why somebody's singing. And if it's a good song, there's always a reason, even if it's a reason that you might think is exciting, or it might be mundane. It might be just people that are happy the way they are, or they're hoping for something better to happen in the future. They have an optimism there, maybe. So making sure that you do your desk work, and that's a lot of just deep thought about what you're doing. Like I said in another video and stuff like that, the thought creates the colour. And when you invest your time into this process of thinking about your interpretation in these ways, it means that it makes the actual performance of it so much easier, because you don't have the cogs turning all the time and your head whirling all the time when you're actually in the performance. It makes your mind a lot more calm because you have that depth of understanding and knowledge behind you. So thanks, guys. I hope that helps you. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email, jayne@musicisarforte.co.uk. If you have recordings that you'd like me to look at, then you can send that to me on my email address, or if you want to send me a link to a YouTube video or something. Remember, you can also organise a free Skype consultation with me too, so if you want to try an excerpt of a song while we're on Skype, that's great too. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.